Hey there, Vinny from Project Frugal. In this video we're going to look at our budget and how we managed to spend less than $25,000 per year. Check it out. $25,000, that's not a lot of money, but we're going to break it all down for you. And there's certainly a few caveats with this particular budget. It's bare bones minimum budget. Any extra expenses, any one-off expenses are not included. So let's get into it and check out the numbers. And straight into our budget here, the first thing we're going to look at is power and gas. Some of you might be on electricity only, that's fine. Some of you may have solar, there's all sorts of permutations with this. We're going with Frank Energy. If you haven't seen the video, check it out up here. This is how we came to this particular number for Frank Energy, which seemed to be the best and cheapest provider in our situation. Our monthly average is $358.33. That's a pretty rough guesstimate. We've been with them for 9 months. We haven't actually calculated the summer months, so I had to guesstimate those particular amounts. And this is a rough amount of how much we would have to pay monthly. So we've also broken that down into a weekly average just so we can get those figures as well. The next number we're going to look at is insurance. We've got house insurance, home and contents insurance, and we've also got third-party car insurance. It's a $3,000 car. It's not worth getting full cover on. If someone steals it, we'll have to buy another one. But if you want to find out how we came to get our insurance calculations, check out this video here. This is how we saved even more money. So based on those insurance numbers, we're looking at just under $1,600 annually. We pay that pretty much once a year, $30.57 a week. Obviously over time, these numbers are also going to go up with inflation, but this is what we've got at the moment. The next one on the list we're going to look at is rates, also known as property tax. I'm not sure what it may be called in your country if you're outside New Zealand, but here in New Zealand we call it rates. That has been going up year on year, that's for sure. It's going up roughly somewhere in the vicinity of 8 or 9% a year for the next 10 years. The council, the local council where we live, have to fix up the water pipes. It's been an ongoing thing for probably decades now. That's what we have budgeted for this. We put $150 every fortnight into this. It covers the core costs of it with a little tiny bit left over, just so we're in credit every time and we don't have to worry about it. Comes out via an automatic payment, nothing to worry about. We never get in debt, we never get penalised, we never get late fees. That's definitely the way to pay these sort of bills. Moving on down the list, this is an optional extra. This is World Vision. We sponsor a child first in India and then finally Uganda. It costs us $10 a week. They probably want more money out of us, but we're not putting that in. We've been doing this for 20 odd years, so we'll just carry on with that, and it helps someone else who's less fortunate than we are. $10 doesn't mean a lot to us, but it certainly means a lot to someone overseas. Moving on to Warrant of Fitness. This is the annual car costs, or 6 monthly if your car's older than the year 2000, where you get your car checked up, fit and ready for the road. Registration is also part of that, where you register your car with the Ministry of Transport, or whatever they're called now, Waka Car Tohi or something like that. It's not too much, less than $200 a year. I know in the UK it costs a fortune. Thankfully we don't live in the UK. But that's the bare minimum cost here. And as part of this budget, we're not including any money for maintenance, oil, tyres, anything like that, maybe window wipers or anything else. That's just not part of our core cost. Anything over and above this budget is a separate issue, not to be included here. For the internet and phone, we've got a broadband 1 gigabit download and 100 megabit upload. We've also got a landline. Now, a lot of people say they don't like landlines. Realistically, the only people that ring me, well, there's not very many people that ring me on that landline, but I know who they are. They're either the mother-in-law or they're a bunch of scammers. Or, yeah, that's pretty much it, really. So I can be pretty much sure who's going to be calling when I pick up the phone. If I hear a bit of noise in the background, it'll be a scammer, that's for sure. $73.81 per month, which breaks down to $17.03. So there's all your entertainment needs covered. We must have the internet in these days and times, that's for sure. We've also got a static IP, we've got the landline, we've got the, well, good download speed. Very happy with the service. It's all good. The main expense on this particular budget is our food budget. We are very, very savvy and smart shoppers. We utilise a local food co-op, so we spend, I think it's roughly around $15 a week. We get a selection of fruit and veggies For a start, which is provided by this veggie co-op, we do our shopping. Generally, we shop in bulk. We look for the specials. We get the specials. We don't buy anything that's overpriced. We don't buy much junk at all anymore, i.e. biscuits, chippies. We do occasionally, but not very often. Yeah, we spend $200 a week on food. Sometimes it goes over that, sometimes it's less than that. We've also got a garden, we've got some fruit trees, so whatever we can do outside the back there, growing our own vegetables, growing our own fruit, the more the merrier, the less this will cost us in our particular budget. Moving on to the doctor and dentist. This is a rough calculation here, $890. I've actually only just put this number up. Don't very often go to the doctor, but we do occasionally go to the dentist, at least once or twice a year each sort of thing. And hopefully, yeah, it's pretty expensive either way you look at it. But Denise went yesterday, it cost $400 for one filling and an x-ray. We'll be shopping around to get a better deal with a different dentist, that's for sure. And finally on this list, we've got Petrol. We've budgeted $45 a week. Now, we both work from home at the moment. We've got pretty much 1.5 incomes. We don't use all that much petrol anymore, but there is a bit of running around to do, off to get the groceries and what have you. Maybe go and film some things for YouTube. It's all good. So $45 a week. We might fill up the tank maybe once a fortnight. That roughly costs around $90 for our particular car at this stage. In fact, we can probably stretch it out to 3 weeks, so we could save some money here. That is our budget, $480.77 a week on average, roughly speaking. Yes, it's going to fluctuate. We're not calculating everything to the bare cent, although in some cases we have, based on the available information that we have. This is a good guide to go off. This is a good guide for where we start. This doesn't include any presents, doesn't include any house maintenance, any car maintenance, which is always going to come up. That's additional cost on top of this particular budget, but it's good to know what your core costs are and what you can trim. Everything on this budget has been looked at and, well, pretty much analysed to see if we can get some better deals, especially with the power, especially with the insurance. There's nothing we can do about the rates. The petrol, not a lot we can do about that unless we get an EV, but they are very expensive and the batteries run out. Food, well, we can drop that cost down by growing as much as we can at home. Let's get Ron's thoughts, see what he thinks. Well, g'day, Ron here. Yep, I've even sold the shirt off my back just so I could invest some more money. Don't know about this budget thing. I put all my money on Lucky Charm on the 4th at Addington, lost the lot, so I got no money for food or anything like that. It wasn't such a good idea after all, I guess. Yes, you can rely on Ron to give you bad advice every single time. I'm sure he'll have a video coming out very shortly with some more bad advice. You'll just have to stay tuned for that one. Once you've got your budget nailed and you know exactly what your core expenses are, let's say it's $25,000, just like our example here. If you make $50,000 after tax, you've got $25,000. Entirely up to you how you want to spend that money. You could spend the whole lot. You could spend the other $25,000 in investments for your future. That's what I would do, definitely. Or maybe you could spend half of it on entertainment, for example, and the other half on investments for your future. Up to you. And if you were fortunate enough to make $75,000 after tax per year, and you had $25,000 worth of expenses, and you had a whopping $50,000 left, well, the sky's the limit, and so on and so on. The key thing is, when you make more money, just keep your expenses the same by living the same lifestyle. And when you get pay rises over time, keep everything the same, and you'll definitely move forward. And that's about all the time we've got for in this one, so I hope it's been useful. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you found some value out of this. We'll catch you in the next video. See you later.